and girls, I have a story to share with you as usual. And today's story is written by Eve Bunting, another of my favorite authors. I know right now you're like, aren't they all your favorite? Kind of. But what's special about her is, one, she writes a lot of different types and styles of books, but she's also willing to tackle difficult topics, and she puts them in a really understandable format. And one of the ways she does that is she uses language to help make a picture in your head. She uses symbols or symbolism, and she uses figurative language to really bring out the big thing that happens so that you just can't forget about it and you can really understand her thoughts and feelings on the topic. And funnily enough, I want my students to be thinking when they write how to bring out the big thing that happened, and I'm going to give you this teaching point to think about it. Writers elaborate on the big thing that happened by using symbolism and figurative language. And I just noticed I have an extra I in here. Oops. That spelling stuff is always so fun. Let me just eliminate that in. I'll scooch it over. See, mistakes are good. You learn from them. Boing. Boop. I can't even blame it on the computer and my finger hitting too many keys this time. That's the only disappointment there. So we're going to read Fly Away Home by Eve Bunting, and we're going to look at the symbolism and the figurative language and see how Eve Bunting uses it to bring out the big thing that happened. So, my dad and I live in an airport. That's because we don't have a home, and the airport is better than the streets. We are careful not to get caught. So that topic, I said she's good at tackling difficult topics, is homelessness. And she really has a way of humanizing it. Mr. Slocum and Mr. Vale were caught last night. 10 green bottles hanging on the wall, they sang. They were as loud as two moose bellowing. Dad says they broke the first rule of living here. Don't get noticed. Dad and I try not to get noticed. We stay among the crowds. We change airlines. So, the figurative language there was they were as loud as two moose bellowing. So now you can look for some different figurative language. And I don't think I showed you the picture, so let me make sure I do that. Delta, TWA, Northwest. We love them all, Dad says. He and I wear blue jeans and blue t-shirts and blue jackets. We each have a blue zippered bag with a change of blue clothes. Not to be noticed is to look like nobody at all. I'm asking myself right now, how old is this little person? Once we saw a woman pushing a metal cart full of stuff. She wore a long, dirty coat, and she lay down across a row of seats in front of Continental Gate 6. The cart, the dirty coat, the lying down were all noticeable. Security moved her out real fast. Dad and I sleep sitting up. We use different airport areas. Where are we going tonight, I ask. Dad checked his notebook. Alaska Air, he says, over in the other terminal. That's okay. We like to walk. We know some of the airport regulars by name and by sight. There's Idaho Joe and Annie Franny and Mars Man, but we don't sit together. Sitting together will get you noticed faster than anything, Dad says. So they know regulars. He knows the whole layout of this airport. I can't imagine being in his shoes. Everything in the airport is on the move. Passengers, pilots, flight attendants, cleaners with their brooms. Jets roar in, close to the window. Other jets roar out. Luggage bounces down chutes. Escalators glide up and down, disappearing under floors. Everyone's going somewhere except Dad and me. We stay. Once, a little brown bird got into the main terminal and couldn't get out. It fluttered in the high, hollow spaces. It threw itself at the glass, fell panting on the floor, flew to a tall metal girder, and perched there, exhausted. "Don't stop trying," I told it silently. "Don't! You can get out." For days, the bird flew around, dragging one wing, and then it found the instant when a sliding door was open and slipped through. I watched it rise. Its wings seemed okay. "Fly, bird," I whispered. "Fly away home." Though I couldn't hear it, I knew it was singing. Nothing made me as happy as that bird. The airport's busy and noisy, even at night. Dad and I sleep anyway. When it gets quiet, between 2 and 4 a.m., we wake up. Dead time, Dad says. Almost no flights coming in or going out. At dead time, there aren't many people around, so we're extra careful. In the mornings, Dad and I wash up in one of the bathrooms and he shaves. The bathrooms are crowded no matter how early, and that's the way we like it. Strangers talk to stranger. "Where did you get in from?" "3 hours of flight was delayed. Man, I'm bushed." Dad and I, we don't talk to anyone. Here they are getting all ready for their day. We buy donuts and milk for breakfast at one of the cafeterias, standing in line with our red trays. Sometimes Dad gets me a carton of juice. On the weekends, Dad takes the bus to work. He's a janitor in an office in the city. The bus fare's $1 each way. On those days, Mrs. Medina looks out for me. The Medinas live in the airport too. Grandma, Mrs. Medina, and Denny, who's my friend. He and I collect rental luggage carts that people have left outside and return them for 50 cents each. If the crowds are big and safe, we offer to carry bags. "Get this one for you, lady, it looks heavy." Or, "Can I call you a cab?" Denny's real good at calling cabs. That's because he's 7 already. So if Denny's 7, then this little guy must be younger. That's pretty young. Sometimes passengers don't tip. Then Denny whispers, "Stingy." But he doesn't whisper too loud. The Medinas understand that it's dangerous to be noticed. When Dad comes home from work, he buys hamburgers for us and the Medinas. That's to pay them for watching out for me. If Denny and I had a good day, we treat for pie. But I've stopped doing that. I save my money in my shoe. "Will we ever have our own apartment again?" I ask Dad. "I'd like it to be the way it was before Mom died." "Maybe we will," he says. "If I can find more work, if we can save some money." He rubs his head. "It's nice right here, though, isn't it, Andrew? It's warm, it's safe, and the price is right." Well, now we have another hint about their life. But I know he's trying all the time to find us a place. He takes newspapers from the trash basket and makes pencil circles around letters and numbers. Then he goes to the phones. When he comes back, he looks sad and angry. I know he's been calling about an apartment. I know the rents are too high for us. "I'm saving my money too," I tell him, and I lift one foot and point to my shoe. Dad smiles. "Attaboy." "If we get a place, you and your dad can come live with us," Denny says. "And if we get a place, you and your mom and your grandma can come live with us," I say. We shake on it. That's going to be so great. After next summer, Dad says, I have to start school. How? I asked. I don't know, but it's important. We'll work it out. Denny's mom says he can wait for a while, but Dad says, I can't wait. Sometimes I watch people meeting people. We miss you. It's good to be home. Sometimes I get mad. And I want to run at them and push them and shout, why do you have homes when we don't? What makes you so special? That would get us noticed, all right. Sometimes I just want to cry. I think Dad and I will be here forever. Then I remember the bird. It took a while, but a door opened, and when the bird left, when it flew free, I know it was singing. So, this book was obviously about a family that's homeless, and they're living in the airport. And like I said, there's the big thing that happened, and it's a symbol. It's symbolic of the way the young boy Andrew is feeling. And just to help you think about it a little more, I'm not going to give it away because we'll talk about it in group. But I actually, just when you thought I would do things the same every time, I came up with some extra charts today. And this one says, uh-oh, it's falling. Never simple, never simple. Symbolism. Can you even see that? Symbolism, the use of symbols to represent ideas or qualities, a mark or character used as a representation. I'm going to go ahead and move that up now so that you can see it a little bit better. Okay, and so I put some really obvious marks. If you wanted to, if you have time in your day, think about some symbols that we know every single day. I was thinking 5th grade American symbols and what they represent, and maybe practice drawing some and think about that idea of symbolism, that's a mark or a character used as a representation, because it's important to understand these things, and writers use things to represent ideas. So for example, in Fly Away Home, the symbol is the bird finally flying home to freedom, to the outside. Okay. And then figurative language is a 4th grade standard, and what's nice about that is it means that we should understand it in 5th grade and be able to use it to better understand our books. So when we elaborate, and we want to bring out the big thing that happens, we could use symbolism if we felt like it, but we could also use figurative language. And figurative language is not literal. It is used to convey a complicated meaning, colorful images, clarity, or comparison. And in case you've forgotten from 4th grade and 3rd grade, some common figurative language forms are simile and metaphor, idioms, personification, hyperbole, onomatopoeia, oxymorons, and allusions. So I invite you to think about what different types of figurative language this book has. I pointed one out at the beginning, and then I did talk to you about what the symbol was, but you could think about it and what it represents more deeply than what I just threw out in 2 seconds. And of course, we will follow up in Readers and Writers Workshop using this book as one of our examples or our mentor texts. Catch you in class. Bye.